welcome back to the GSTL. Seoul is smiling because FXOpen is down 0-3. And Hurricane is now their first of many last hopes, because if they drop one more map, it's all over.
Yeah, Choya doesn't smile anymore. He was already looking a little bit grimmer after the first and the second game, but the third definitely made sure that he is not in a good mood. And, you know, the team already said that after the first game that they played in the last season, where they got all killed by Innovation, Choya was really mad and made them like practice a lot harder, because he was absolutely not happy with what had happened at the beginning of the season. They were kind of promising that they would step it up a little bit and make sure that they would perform better in the team league, but right now it's looking that they might be all killed again, or at least lose today's match, and that is going to be really bad for them. Innovation hasn't even come out yet, so these guys are in a lot of trouble.
Here's a refresher on our top wins. Is it in order this time? Yeah, this time it's in order. But it's really actually still looking good for Innovation and Trap. Innovation, of course, may come out later, and Ryung wants to take that spot from him. I mean, this is not relevant to the match we're about to watch, as neither Hurricane nor Mekia are on this list. Well, this is Mekia's debut match, and I think that he's got a lot to prove, and Axiom-Acer would be incredibly happy if he was able to take out an experienced player like Hurricane and then get them, of course, the all-kill.
Yeah, an all-kill would be amazing for them right now. They are already in a great position in the ranks in general, and with another victory today, they would just solidify their position like even more than they already did in the past.
And some visitors here.
Yeah, I would like to read what's on the jersey. Try something Korea.
Maybe it's a triathlon.
Maybe a triathlon?
I know that
awesome. There's the Seoul Marathon coming up pretty soon.
Yeah,
That's,
I saw that.
I think in 2 weeks. Okay, so apparently it's some kind of martial arts academy. That's what we just been told. Unfortunately, we couldn't read what's exactly on the shirt there. If we get another camera shot later on, guys, you have to show us. Welcome to Seoul and welcome to the studio.
Yeah, have some fun here. It's a great city. So, Impact now is basically, he could be the closer. He could actually seal the deal and get the all-kill. This is his debut match in GSTL. And he's up against Hurricane, an old sniper, now turned all-around good player for FXOpen. A ton of experience, always on the edge of Code S.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this match now, because things are not looking good for FXOpen. I think this is also going to impact a player like Hurricane. This will definitely, no pun intended by the way, this will definitely leave him in a spot where he's going to be a little bit faced. If you know that your team is 0-3 already and you are maybe the last player, then there's a lot of added pressure on you. Impact, on the other hand, he knows that even if he loses here, everything is going to be alright most likely for them, since Innovation is going to be the last player and they all expect him to win that game. But of course he's going to give us his best performance here. Let's see if he can pull it off, if he is successful against Hurricane in his first game at the GSTL. Let's give it a look. Starting to the top right, the potential last player for Team FXOpen. It is a Protoss player that they send into the battle. It is
FXO Hurricane.
FXO Hurricane with the pylon on the low ground already here, and the scout preparing for his opponent. Everything hinges on him now. If he loses this match against the Zerg to the bottom left, then they will be out. And this is Mekia, aka
Axiom Impact.
Axiom Impact from the newer additions. He just performs for the first time here in the GSTL. He's the only Zerg player currently active in the roster of Axiom-Acer, since Scarlet can unfortunately not come to Korea right now. Apparently she was staying so far only at the Axiom-Acer house. The house currently is completely full with mostly the Axiom players, of course, Mekia the new addition, and that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult for her to come to Korea, since the GOM house doesn't exist any longer. So for foreign players it's always a little bit tricky to really stay here, and then Scarlet decided to not participate in the GSTL, at least in the second round. So hopefully we'll have her back next year, but for now Mekia aka Impact is going to be the only Zerg player that Axiom-Acer has.
Yeah, this is true. And this is always the very first time you ever play in a league, especially when you're swapping teams. You have a lot to prove, generally speaking. And so, honestly though, based on looking at Mekia on the booth, he does not look nervous in the slightest. And like you said it so well, for Hurricane, this has got to be extremely stressful because if he loses it, it's all over, and it feels like, even though it's not, it's all on him. Whereas for Mechia, like you said as well, if he loses, then there's, you know, so many more chances. It'll be the first loss for his team.
Mechia has played 6 maps offline against Protoss. He won 2 of them against Bong. That was at WCG South Korea, the qualifier. In the WCS Season 2 Korea qualifier, we had him with a 1-2 loss against JYP, and he also lost the map to Zest. So in general, not really a lot to go on here, but he's definitely, as you already said, not really all that, like, I mean, he didn't look nervous or anything when we saw him in the booth there. Not a whole lot of maps played so far from him in general, but he looks very experienced, so I'm pretty interested to see what he can do against Hurricane.
Yeah, same here. You know, the funny thing about this map is when you take a third base like this, you ask for trouble against a lot of timing attacks because it's so hard to defend. It's far away. There's a ramp there the pros can use against you, but that's an interesting gas cancel. But on this particular occasion, Hurricane has decided to go Forge first, is playing a little bit safer, and is not going to be able to pressure as easily. So, good opening here for Impact so far. You can see Hurricane actually 3rd highest contributor to his team. I like that stat. It's always kind of interesting to see who's gotten the most points for the team. So Hurricane number 3 right now for FXO.
Yeah, for Hurricane, I said it earlier, I think the added pressure is definitely going to mess with him a little bit, or there's a high danger of that happening. He is a strong player, he won a couple of abroad tournaments just recently, smaller ones, but still. And he is definitely a player who's very experienced for the team. He has played for FXOpen for a long time. He was always a little bit of a sniper. He performed, he just transformed into an all-round player, and is currently actually, given the results that Linok has in the team league, probably the best player on the FXO roster. So for him, it's going to be very important to just get into a good mindset to win this game. FXOpen really relies on him now. But if Impact gets away with a greedy build and is able just to establish like a really solid unit composition, it's going to be very tricky for Impact for Hurricane to do anything about it.
Yeah. We have 3 gateways being added here. No +1 on the other hand, so it's going to be a +1-less attack if he decides to go for that. And he actually gets his 3rd gas here too. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. The Zealot actually comes in here for an aggressive scout, tries to also maybe take off a drone or 2. It looks like he gets none.
Nothing.
Great micro there by Mechia.
Yeah, well done here actually, like really, really well done. So Mechia currently with good unit control and also with an Overlord in the main base spotting those gateways, and that was important. The +1 attack upgrade has been started, the sentry is moving in to take down the Overlord, but Impact kind of saw everything that he wanted to see already.
Yeah, you can be okay with losing this Overlord. I actually think that now Hurricane just needs to take a 3rd base, because if he had plans to attack with a delayed +1 or 2 sentries, I think now that he's been spotted, all those plans kind of just go to hell, really. He really just needs to take a 3rd base now and try to transition with the upgrade he has.
Still a little bit of a supply block that we have here for Impact. He lost the Overlord, he only had 1 queued up, but then he queued 3 additional ones, so they take a bit to complete before he can produce additional units. Here comes the 3rd base already that we were just talking about. Hurricane not really interested in attacking any longer, wants to get the 3rd base out first. Leia halfway done, a little bit more than that, and upon realizing that there is a 3rd base, he goes straight into the drone production again and just tries to outmine his opponent with a better income.
Yeah. Blair is finished up as well now here. And you know, the strategy for Hurricane, it's not paying off right now. I mean, yes, he does get a 3rd base, but he doesn't take it as greedily as he would have liked. He has a bunch of sentries now that are great, useful at defending, but there's no attack coming. And he doesn't have robotics, he doesn't have Stargate. All he has is +1 that he's not going to use for a while.
Yeah, and talking about attacks coming in and about the lack of the robotics, we have the Hydra Den already built, and with the Hydra Den and 16 Zerglings already moving in, there are a lot of options that Impact has to be aggressive on his own now. He can try to move in with the Hydralisks and do damage, or just simply use them to be a little bit defensive until he gets the 4th base up and a bit of an added attack. But even the 2nd the 1st Stargate,
Yeah,
right?
1st Stargate.
Stargate is being built right now. There is the move out, but with this many Zerglings, where are those sides? Relying on roads on the other.
And the force fields are perfect! Sorry, Stalker, I guess you're going down, but actually the Stalker may even survive here.
Wow.
Incredible force fields, and this actually changes everything. And the Stalker survives. Incredible here, and now he's going to go up and get the high ground advantage. Queen goes down. The Spine Crawlers are not ready.
Unbelievable. Like, these were like perfect force fields. It doesn't get better than that.
No, it does not. You're so right. And does let the roaches in here, unfortunately, but all the drones are starting to fall. The +1 attack really coming into play here.
Those were the famous force fields of GG.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's just going to continue to crush through here.
This was amazing. Oh my god, I'm blown away by that force field control. I think the only time where we've seen force fields like that was from Seed when he was really on top of things.
Yeah.
But the third base is still alive.
Third base is still alive. He does keep it alive, but he lost a lot of harvesters. Now 61 to 46 plus third base. Actually, you know what? I think Impact, if he survives this, you know, Hurricane should just go home. I think he's just going to wait until he needs to recall, and then he's just going to go back to his third defend. He's got Void Rays on the ways to help defend his third base against counter pressure. He's got the Robo done now, and the upgrades are better for him.
Insane. So many harvesters lost already. The entire army is still in a position where you can pressure the Zerg player. You can force out units instead of drones. All the lava just going into army supply. And then when need be, you just recall back. The Zerglings, the run-by attack here. Impact already realizing that he has to do something about the third base. And there's no defense, there's no cannon, there's no nothing. So at least a few of those probes are going to bite the dust, but still.
Yeah, he actually saves the energy on his Mothership Core too. He does not use a recall. Void Ray here actually going to start to harass the roaches, and that's about all that Mechia or Impact, that is to say, can actually do. He doesn't want to actually go and continue against this. Not with all the force fields here. Not with all the stalkers that he sees. He goes into Infestation Pit Tech, and I think, he might just go for fast Vipers and try to get some good yanks. But I don't like his position at all here. He's still down 13 harvesters, for Pete's sake.
There was like a time when especially Morrow wrote a long article where he was talking about like force fields and that he thinks the problem with balancing StarCraft hinges a lot on how Protoss player uses force fields, and if they are perfectly used, it's basically something that makes the race nearly imbalanced in a few situations. But with poorer force field control, like it turns a lot and Protoss is like a lot weaker. It's very hard to really put it in just a few words, but everything hinges on the force fields, and a lot of players, also Protoss players, kind of agree on that a little bit. The mechanic is sometimes a bit crazy, and this is where we saw that on the top level. This was like 22 Zerglings that died immediately without accomplishing anything, not even taking down a single Stalker. And that is 11 lava for you right there. So the force field usage there of Hurricane was perfect. That was incredible to see. We rarely see it like this well executed.
Yeah. It was just on the spot, quick reaction time.
And then later on as well, blocking in the Queen with a single force field, making sure that he has the energy for the rest.
Look at his control here. He's got everything mapped out. Double time warp. Doesn't even care if he loses the Colossus, but he doesn't, by the way. And now he kills all of the roaches for basically free. Great time warps there. Not a single roach escapes. And now he continues the attack. 93 army supply to 76. Worker count still in his favor. Does he have +2 yet? It looks like it's nearly done here.
Impact is doing whatever he can. He has those infestors in the game now. He spread his creep. He's trying to set up maybe a run by something here. Some move, but we have the proxy. Well, Deer failed with those proxy next side, but I think Impact has a pretty good chance of losing that game, even though he's proxy next side here. Here come those funnels on the other hand. They are perfect, but the problem is there's not enough firepower.
Not enough firepower here. The infestors being targeted down by the Void Rays, and actually he survives a little bit longer here. The Void Ray doing so much damage because that's what Void Rays do. No forward pylon, forward next side. He has a few pylons at the back he could use for warp ins. He's starting to actually push his way through there. Some good fungals.
And those Hydralisks are doing a lot of damage. The first of those Colossi is already gone. The second one is being attacked by the Roaches. There's just too many Stalkers.
Yeah. He lost all of his infestors there too. They weren't able to escape.
He had a bit of momentum going there. But now the rest of the reinforcements are, of course, going to try to take down that second Colossus. But I just don't see it happening. Even drones being pulled. Impact just pulling the moves here, doing whatever he can, and is really putting up a fight.
Yeah, he's got a few queens here. No forward mothership.
Those Nexi are going to complete, by the way.
No mothership core here to use the overcharge on those forward Nexi. He would love to have that if he could. Yeah. And Blink is a ways away. A few more infestors on the way. Imagine if he had saved those infestors. Fighting against the Nexi. The Nexi actually tanking a little bit of damage here, funny as it is.
Yeah, tanking the damage, and there we have the double Nexus. He can at least use the Chrono Boost now, I guess.
Yeah, and he does. That's the best part. He hasn't built it up yet, but he will have that Chrono Boost to use. The Observer always at the front, spotting out where exactly it is that he has to split. Is he just going to walk home? He could, but it would look a little bit silly with those Nexi there.
Hurricane with a bank, but he doesn't have gas. He needs a little bit more than that. More infestors are moving in right now. There's no anti-Informer Spire, but he has everything to pin those Colossi down and then close the distance with the Roaches and the Hydralisks. And right now, Hurricane is actually looking at this and he's a little bit freaked out. Like, he's like, do I really want to engage into this? The army supply is exactly the same.
He's walking Immortals across the map, which is actually smart in this case.
The problem is really the concave that we have set up here. If Hurricane just blindly A-moves into this, he's going to lose everything. But the unit composition that he has is really strong, and those Colossi are going to do a lot of damage.
Force fields as well, and he's able to push this back. You know, and Mothership Core is about to pop out here at the Nexus itself. A lot of Chrono Boost coming out of those Nexi. You know, you joked about it before, but it's true. And he wants to get some good force fields here, but he's a little bit low in energy. The bungles are decent. The Colossi targeted by the Hydras, but he still escapes.
And there goes the army supply for Impact. He's losing too much. The Immortals, the Colossi, everything going against Impact right now. Hurricane is going to take this game. He's taking it massively. Blinks forward, and this is going to seal the deal. GG! And Hurricane with the first point for FXOpen after a crazy good game. Amazing micro, great unit control, superb force fields here.
The force fields really sealed the deal there. Even when you get force fields like that, you kill the entire Zergling force. The houses are supposed to defend. I mean, that's what he was relying on.
A little bit of credit to Mechia though. I mean, Impact really put on some good moves after that and made sure that Hurricane for a bit had to sweat a little bit longer.
Yeah. You know, Song says can't get any worse, but at least things now for FXOpen getting a little bit better.
Yeah, Shoya is still not looking too happy though.
We talked about it. If one of these two players takes a game, that's okay. If both of them take it, that's really good. FXOpen survives a little bit longer here. But the innovation problem they're going to have to face later is really, really looming ahead right now. So Lucky got to be sweating a little bit right now, hoping that it gets to that point. And Mechia played a good game, like you said. He did actually hold longer than a lot of people probably expected him to.
Yeah, you could see Crank grinning. He was probably talking to him like, yeah, those force fields, they definitely killed you.
Yeah. Without the force fields being that good, the Zerglings with the Roaches coming out would have defended that push pretty easily, would have forced an early recall. Yeah. And then he has all the tools on his arsenal to go for the counterattack at the third base.
I mean, you guys probably all know that GIF, right? Where I don't know from which movie that is, by the guy that goes with the controller and he goes like this and you see the force field and
he goes like this and drops the storm.
Exactly, like the perfect circle. Like there's a GIF out there and it's pretty amazing. It's really funny. And that was exactly what we saw there. Like the guy just skittering across with his controller and everything.
I think the stalker in the hole was the cutest part. The stalkers was like, wait a minute, whoa, hold on.
Let me over.
I didn't expect your force fields to be that good. And there's the one Zealot. There was one tiny gap in the force fields, by the way, and the Zealot is there like, I'm holding you guys in.
I know what happened. The Zealot said him, just stand still and they can't see you. And that's what he did. And the Zerglings were just trying to run out of there.
It looked like actually the Zerglings were just right-clicking out instead of fighting, because, I mean, you want to hope that you can squeeze your way out of that.
Well, hope is all that FXOpen has left now. And they send out the next player, which is, of course, in this case, going to be Gumio, their only Terran player, the Towel Terran. He has to perform the second win if they want to start the comeback.
He absolutely has to win. No buts about it. And he is a strong Terran. The Towel Terran, in fact. Going up against Alicia, who is, you know, he's 0-1 against Gumiho, actually, if you want to look at their direct comparison. But Alicia stating again he does not want to use Void Rays in the match.
Yeah, we trolled Alicia always a little bit because he used Void Rays WCS America and he was kind of famous for a little while to just use Void Rays. So the last time we already trolled him with it and he's like, no, I don't even like Void Rays. So the day when I came in the studio I was talking about him and I'm like, yeah, your fans expect Void Rays. And he's like, no, I don't like Void Rays. And a second later, like 10 seconds later, he turns to me like, wait a second. I'm not playing against the Zerg today, I'll play against Terra. And I'm like, I don't care, just build Void Rays. And the entire Axiom-Acer team was just like laughing the entire time. Grank had a really good time trolling him from then on.
Hey, there are one or two good Void Ray lines still in Heartless Swarm. You just gotta be careful with those Widow Mines. They might put a damper on your plan. But
to be quite honest with you, I think you're the only Protoss player that still uses the Void Ray.
I'll do it, man. You face me on the ladder.
Yeah,
you know my Smurf account, you know, like.
Yeah, but you will have pretty small chances of facing me when I play down.
Pretty small chance. I mean, when I hit Gumio on the ladder, because I hit him all the time, my MR's up there.
I think he's gonna defeat that. And
That
I
might
doubt that you're
surprise
gonna face him. Here we go. Match number 4, set 5. What does that actually mean?
The fourth match of the round 2 and set 5 of...
Oh yeah, of course. I was like, what? Polar Knights! I was like, match 4, that's match 5. Okay.
Yeah, it's the fourth match we've had in round 2. Polar Knight is the map, as mentioned. Alicia could be the one to seal the deal, as Mechia, I keep calling him that, Impact, failed in set 4. But at least FXOpen, they don't get all killed. Gumio wants to get that second win.
Yeah, let's see what Gumeo can do here. He needs a victory right now. We're going to talk about how good they are in this matchup in just a second, because we're heading into our 5th map of the day. Might be the last. Let's see if Gumeo can keep FXOpen in the run a little bit longer. GSTL, FXOpen up against Axiom-Acer. Solon Wolf.